Hello everyone, I'm Rose Get Good Fonts, and we are on the beta branch on State of Decay 2. That would be on Steam, and that's because you can play the new Trumbull Valley map right now if you have access to the beta. Now, I'm not ready to make a full-fledged episode, so instead what I'm going to do is I just want to jump in on the standard zone and show you the new landmark outpost that we can have access to in the new map, Trumbull Valley. So let's go ahead and get in there. Alright, so we've claimed the new base. Don't worry, I'll be taking a look at this in greater detail. For this one, I just want to show you the Echo Labs research station, which appears to be guarded by a single plague heart. So we will have to destroy it in order to actually make the landmark outpost capturable. So let's get on that. You need to go to the gym, you weakling. I will show you how to do... What are you? You just sit there and do nothing? What a whip! Excellent. Let's go take a look at this landmark outpost, which is just a warehouse? Is this where the dam was? I think this might have been where the dam was. In State of Decay 1, you learned that the dam had zombie bodies all up in it. Okay, so here we are at the actual building itself, and it's not much to look at. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. The inside also not a whole lot to look at. Doesn't look like it's really... I don't know. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the options are. So we have biochem crafting. With this strategy, we set up the lab in a way that allows us to transform plague samples into advanced biochemical consumables and thrown weapons. So that sounds a lot like basically getting access to the advanced biochem station that would let you make like scent block or bloater grenades. Serum production. With this strategy, we can craft experimental plague-derived serums that temporarily boost health or stamina with only minor plague infection as a side effect. Since these unstable serums aren't portable, we can only make them and use them here. Well, that sounds a lot like Zedrenalin, but Zedrenalin is just an item you can carry around, so it might not be exactly the same. And then we have Specimen incubation. With this strategy, we give ourselves the ability to use chemicals and meds to multiply our supply of plague samples, which is perfect if we need extra plague cure. We can also use plague samples to craft a small amount of meds. That is interesting. Let's go ahead and claim it. Costs 1,000 influence. And, okay, I got achievements and whatnot. Let's try biochem crafting first. Why not? Activate strategy. Okay, so let's see what it gives us. Biochem items. So, yeah, this is going to let us build scent block, Zedi, Zedrenalin, Zombate, bloater grenades, bloater gas launcher, the 40mm gas. So this is the same thing as having an advanced biochem station. How good is this? It could actually be insanely good if you don't have access to one, but if you already have an advanced biochem station, then it's basically useless. So let's go ahead and switch to the serum production. This one is interesting because it sounded like Zedrenalin. So here it is. Use the health serum, 30 max health for 31 minutes, and 5 plague infection for 31 minutes. Subject yourself to an experimental plague-derived serum that boosts your max health for quite a while. We think it's best taken with food, hence the snack cost, or maybe it just pairs well with salt, sugar, and carbs. While the effect lasts, you'll also be slightly more vulnerable to plague. And so what this sounds like is you don't actually get the infection right off the bat. Rather, it just looks like infection will be more effective against you, like you'll get a 5% greater infection. You also have use stamina serum, 30 maximum stamina and 30 plague infection for 31 minutes. Subject yourself to an experimental plague-derived serum that boosts your max stamina for quite a while. We find it's best taken with a liquid whose taste overpowers the serum itself, hence the coffee cost, or maybe it's the tannins, who can be sure. While the effect lasts, you'll also be slightly more vulnerable to blood plague infection. So these actually seem like they aren't bad. because they should stack with the primary care ability, so that seems like it actually could be decent. Let's go ahead and activate the last one, Specimen incubation. Okay, so Specimen incubation, we have multiply plague samples. Use meds and chemicals to grow a single plague sample into many, without letting it get out of control. This lets us harvest a large amount of plague samples without putting us in harm's way. Knowledge of pathology boosts the number of plague samples produced. Interesting. So, it's gonna... Now, remember, this is standard zone, so the cost would be higher as the difficulties go up, or at least I would believe it to be. It would cost 2 chemicals, 1 plague sample, and 1 medicine. It takes 15 minutes to do. And then you would get 9 plague samples, or more if you had knowledge of pathology. Then you have recycle bio-waste. Use chemicals and plague samples to produce a small amount of meds. Your knowledge of pathology reduces the amount of samples required, so it would be 1 case of chemicals, 1 jug of ethanol, 5 plague samples, and that would get you 2 medicine. So this seems like it's by far the best one, and the reason for that is because the effect over here, the biochem crafting, like I said, you can actually just get an advanced biochem station, which is an installable plugin mod. But the thing is, they are expensive. Actually, let's just switch right back to it. Then we can see it right there. You can see right here, they are expensive. 25 plague samples to get 3 bottles of scent block, 25 plague samples for Zedi, 25 samples for Zedrenal. These are cheaper, 6 plague samples, 6 and 6. But still, like, you need a lot of plague samples, and so it seems like what you would want to do is get an advanced biochem station, and then you could just convert this into specimen incubation, and it would basically allow you to just really aggressively use you could just like passively do this. With a higher morale, you would be able to speed it up, I'm sure, because it takes 15 minutes. If we look at our morale, we could see right here, morale levels plus 50% facility action, 50% build speed, etc. Well, the higher your morale, the faster those actions are going to be, meaning you would be able to mass produce them quicker. And that actually seems like it's going to be really, really good. All right, though, boys, that does it for my little quick look at the landmark outpost of the new Trumbull. So it's the new landmark outpost of the new Trumbull Valley map. I actually think this has the potential to be an extremely powerful outpost, especially if you already have an advanced biochem station, mainly because you are bottlenecked by your plague samples. The fact that you can actually just recycle the plague samples, just doing more with plague samples, that seems like an extremely good idea. And especially for a player like me, where I can live without health bonuses. I think the primary care is more than good enough, but I tend to get a lot of plague samples, or I don't have enough in order to use all those OP items. Because remember, those biochem items are overpowered in a lot of cases. They're insanely good, and on the lethal zone difficulty, that can make your experience way, way easier. It's also very thematic because, you had all the weird plague wall, blood plague stuff going on in Heartland. So overall, I think the only thing I'm disappointed by is I kind of wish that their facility was a little more high-tech looking, or I kind of wish it was a little more like... I don't know. It's just I'm underwhelmed by the appearance of it. But I mean, I guess you could say appearances are the least important thing. But that is how I feel about it. Anyways, I will try to get the first real episode of this on the Lethal Zone out tomorrow. That will be the 25th. But I just wanted to get this going for now. Let me know what you think, though, down in the comments section. What do you think about this landmark outpost, and which of the 3 strategies do you think is the best? Like, would you want, let's say after you've played this map enough, and now you're going to play whatever map you want, would this landmark facility be enough to get you just to come back and just play here permanently? Maybe not permanently, but play here primarily because of the effects of it? Let me know what you think down in the comments section. And of course, subscribe for future State of Decay to Lethal Zone content in Trumbull Valley, hopefully on the 25th. Like the video, subscribe, and yeah, I already said that. And do the things that I always say at the end of the video, and you don't have to be good. to get good.